Please welcome Joe Brown.
Good morning, fellow Toastmasters, special guest, Mr. Toastmaster. Yogi Berra was known for many of his sayings. I found one for this morning. It's deja vu all over again. So 15 years ago, I was a member of the Ahwatukee Toastmasters. Little did I know I'd be coming back, but I'm delighted to be here. So in my speech this morning, I'd like to tell you just a little bit about what I've been doing for the last 15 years. My first remarkable event is my wife and I celebrated 40 years of marriage this July. And my parents said it wouldn't last. I used to say we were just staying together out of spite. That didn't work. Some people ask us how we met. We met at a church picnic. And there's another saying that the way to a man's heart is through his stomach. So we had this big thing, and I wanted to talk to this young lady whose name is Kathy. And so she brought this wonderful taco salad casserole. So I was just effusive at how great this casserole was. It dawned on me later that that was the best I could do with the proverbial pickup line. But it seemed to work. If you asked her how we got together, she would say she's like the Mounties. She chased me until I caught her. Both of those are true. So for our anniversary, we went to New York, and we did all of the sites. We spent 5 days there. I was there as a young boy, but didn't remember much. So I walked all around New York with my Frommer's Guide and my map. One morning during rush hour, we went to the subway, and I'm standing there packed in, barely made it in. There's a gentleman standing here like this, and Kathy standing here like this, and he's kind of looking at me, kind of like this. So I held it up, I said, "Do I look like a tourist?" He started laughing. I said, "Well, thank you." And I said, "Can you tell me if I'm on the right train?" So it turned out we were okay. The second event that was significant for both Kathy and I was in these last 15 years is we became grandparents. So we have 5 grandchildren, 10 to 4. The first time I saw the first grandchild, I thought, what am I going to do now? Woody Allen has another saying that 80% of life is just showing up. So I said to myself, I'll just show up at every event I can possibly manage. That worked out pretty good. That kind of morphed into something different. I figure now that grandfathers should be everyday Santas and grown-up playmates. So as far as Santas go, you have to always be prepared to bring a little gift. You have to be a loving presence at all the events. And then as far as being a grown-up playmate, you have to have a basic arsenal of toys. This one here, Chutes and Ladders, is my special favorite because it's simple. It has a little dial on it, and you just spin it like this, and then you have little figures that go up and down. The ladder gets you there quicker, but invariably you hit a chute, and you slide back down to the beginning. So the last thing that grandfathers are supposed to do is to always let the grandkids win. So I always make sure I find a chute somewhere that I slide down on the side. The other games that I would recommend are the old standbys you probably remember as a young person, War. And they've kind of dressed it up now, and it's got a nice fancy cover. Go Fish. You probably all remember Go Fish. Crazy Eights is a good one. And then my favorite is Old Maid. The youngest granddaughter, who's 4, just can't wait to see me end up with Old Maid. And she just laughs. So I figured, basic compendium of games for children. The last event I wanted to address this morning was I retired a couple of years ago. What I've discovered about retiring is that retirement is really hard work. And I'll tell you why. So you spend all of these years rushing around, doing things, trying to make a living, trying to get things done in time, meeting deadlines. You're kind of in the flow, and it establishes kind of a meaning and a purpose. You're trying to make money, you're trying to get ahead and all these things. So suddenly you wake up on that first morning, somebody told me about that, and you didn't, Monday morning, and you didn't have to go to work. And you're like this, you go, who am I? Seriously. So for almost 3 years now, I've been trying to rediscover a meaning and purpose to my life. And it's harder than it looks. My occupation was commercial property management, and maybe in another speech I can tell you more about that. So I have started doing some part-time work for smaller companies, managing office and retail properties. And I do volunteering. Very rewarding. It gives me an opportunity to pay back and to stay involved. So retirement is not everything it's cracked up to be. It's okay for honeydews and getting lots of things done around the house. After 6 months, though, it's good to have a hobby or something else to do. But this is where Toastmasters fits in for me, and it's really a great pleasure to be here, and I'm just delighted to be back. I promise to work hard at my speaking skills. I look forward to getting to know all of you and exploring how we can improve as people and speakers. Thanks very much.